whatever is tasty is always rich in calories.
True.
Right? So, in your experience, let's say even you love mutton biryani?
Yeah, I do, doctor.
Right?
I think I define a good biryani as a mutton biryani.
Mutton biryani.
Then comes chicken. Chicken is a substitute for me. That's how much I like mutton biryani. Yeah.
Vegetable or biryani you don't consider
I
as a
don't even
biryani.
consider after. Sanjana is going to get offended, but I want to stick to the statement.
So, as a doctor, okay, so I see patients and then they are having, like they come 35-year-old, 40-year-old, they come with abdominal pain or just general checkup, their blood glucose is slightly elevated, cholesterol is slightly elevated, and I say, you go on diet. And then they say, what kind of diet? I say that, any diet you can choose. But the first thing is you cut down the calorie intake. For example, an average patient needs 1,800 to 2,000 calories per day to maintain, to talk, walk, normal body weight. So if you have to lose weight,
You reduce
your
intake.
calories. Okay, so we usually say 200 calories less per day. So from 2,000, you go to 1,800 calories, 1,800 per day. So you keep on doing that. When you reach 3,500 calorie deficit, then you lose 1 pound of fat. But we add 1 pound of fat into the mutton biryani itself.
Yeah, true, doctor. I think very recently I've been exposed more on this topic, I would say. See, I've had a weight loss journey as well. Not just once, multiple times in the journey. The highest I've been is in the range of 110. The lowest I've tried coming from that is to about 90. The stable for me is about 97 to 100. Sometimes it's slightly more. So it's just that over a period of time, I would have lost about 30-35 kilos over a period of time, not in one go.
Yes.
I would have put on weight, I would have reduced weight. I think the one thing I can vouch for is the only thing that works. The only thing that works is lesser calories intake and more calories burning.
Correct.
It's the whole calorie deficit cycle is been the only thing that has ever worked. Irrespective of the diet. It could be a low carb diet, it could be a low fat diet, or it could be even a vegetable diet, fruit diet, whatever it is. It's essentially lesser calories intake and probably more calories burning.
It is even more interesting when this comes from a person in the food industry.
There's nothing else that works, doctor. And that lesser calorie can also mean you end up still eating a little bit of biryani, but you know how much you eat. In fact, when you mention biryani, the one interesting take that we have is, I don't know if it's very relevant to this topic. People often ask us, I brought some biryani kits for you. So obviously I know how you eat your biryanis, like more protein and lesser rice. But once you look at the back of the pack, you'll have a nutritional information. Like those are the base ingredients for all the stuff that goes into ginger, garlic, onion, tomatoes. So beyond this, you end up adding your protein. And you end up adding about 250 grams of rice. So ideally,
and then oil.
Of course, oil. The paste also has oil. So all those are calculated in the nutrition value of a pack. So what happens is, it's a choice of a consumer to add either 1:1 meat, which is 250 gram rice, 250 gram meat. Or they can go up to 1:2, which is for 250 gram of rice, you add up 500 grams of meat, which is the kind of ratio that you would recommend, I would assume.
Correct.
So once you create that entire meal, we try to mention the number of servings per box. We mention it as 3. And people often end up asking us, you know what, it was barely enough for just 2 of us. But the fact is, once you add, rice is also part of that kit. So once you add protein and once you cook all that, it's going to look like somewhere around 2,000 calories or more. And if you're dividing by 3, that is still 750 calories per person. And if we change the number of servings to 2, the percentage RDA value goes over the roof, and someone who's going to pick up the pack is going to look like, I mean, is this what I'm eating? But the fact is, it is supposed to be 8 by 3 people. You are eating, 2 people are finishing it, and you're still tulping 1,100, 1,200 calories, which is not okay. But for that, we can't change the pack by saying that it serves 2. It is still 3.
Well, that's so nice that you're doing that.
Yeah,
Was it a conscious decision?
Yes, doctor. But end of the day, that's what is recommended. You can't skew values to a way that consumers can eat more, right? But people still think that that's the decent quantity of biryani that I could eat.
But how many people know about these servings, you think?
Very few, doctor. Very few. And if you see the kind of portions that are served, I don't know. I've heard the US is very generous with portions, but when you go and eat a biryani in a or mid-level shop, not a fancy shop, you should see the amount of biryani that they put in a plate. That's easily 2,000 calories.
Yes.
That's 1 day worth of calories if it's mutton also.
Do you think they are giving it to just to say that, we are giving you more?
Yeah, for the
Or the
money that you
price.
pay, we are giving you more is the whole pitch that they are.
But the client doesn't know that they're going to pay eventually for the price.
Yeah. So now, off late, what I've understood is this: I can't eat a full portion of biryani outside.
Why?
It's too heavy. Like it's too filling. And once you get a little bit more exposed to the kind of content that you create, you also end up knowing that that's 1 day's full day of calorie. So you easily mention 200 calorie deficit over multiple days. 3,500 calories is going to give you
1
1 pound loss. This could easily get you 1 pound gain in 3 days.
3 days.
That's something that once you understand the basics of how this works, you're exposed to it.
So, as a food entrepreneur, do you balance taste and health? How do you pitch into your clients or to your products?
I think fundamentally when it comes to products, it's still we end up doing a lot of non-vegetarian centric masalas. That's how we started, including biryanis is one category and masalas. When it comes to masalas, I think it's quite straightforward, doctor. The amount of oil that someone uses is up to them. The kind of oil that they use is up to them. The kind of protein that they use is also up to them. It's just masala, where the calorie count is almost nothing. Like it's basic spices grounded.
Correct.
And that's the only thing that's a part of a masala. It's up to a consumer to make it however tasty they want. And that's a consumer behavior. Sometimes they end up adding 2 tablespoons of oil. And there are folks who I've heard who are on a calorie deficit, who go to gym every day, where they use just 1 teaspoon of ghee, saute 1 onion, add 300-400 grams of protein, add a few tablespoons of masala, saute and eat it. It's still tasty. It's still a South Indian varval. But you have made it very calorie less.
So 1 teaspoon of ghee will give almost the same taste as 2 tablespoons of oil.
Yeah, probably. Some people end up choosing ghee. Maybe that's a question that you are better to answer, whether ghee is better than oil. But some people used to tell that I use 1 teaspoon of ghee instead of nut oil, or I end up using coconut oil. That's people's preference. But the fact is, there are consumers who use it this way. But I think that's less than 10% of our consumers, or even 5%. The majority, 95%, it's a Sunday or a Saturday. I am eating white rice and I want to pair it with a nice chicken fry or a chicken varval or a mutton varval. So that's where they use the masala, and how much oil they add is entirely something that we leave it up to them. Their choice. And because fundamentally Indians are folks who know how to cook.